Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Alien Protocols. I'd like to speak today about something that most people don't talk about in terms of contact protocols, and that is daytime CE5. Most people think of CE5 contact protocols as during the night, and that it just seems, organic that nighttime is the easiest time to see them because many of these craft are brightly lit and their gravitational or anti-gravitational propulsion systems illuminate the craft. And UFOs are really well known for being well lit and having a field around them. And oftentimes this field is very bright. And sometimes it's so bright you can't even see the structure inside the light. And so it seems very logical just to do CE5 at night. But CE5 during the day is a really, really interesting, fun thing to do. And you can have a lot of really cool successes, and you can still use a lot of the same equipment. I highly recommend still using your lasers. I think lasers, here we go, I've got mine here. Are great during the day for several reasons. One is if you live in a city or on the outskirts of a city, it's not as overt in your area, because some places these lasers are illegal. And of course you never want to shine your lasers anywhere near planes ever, for a bunch of obvious reasons, aside from the fact that in many places it's a felony. So you definitely don't want to do that. But you can have multiple different types of colors as well too. I have the traditional green, but I also have the more powerful purple ones. And this one can actually set a pack of matches on fire. It's pretty cool. But you should bring binoculars, you should bring your lasers, and you should bring a camera. And you can have as few people as you want. But I think the most core important thing is that these are really like-minded people, that you have a sense of resonance with these people, that there's no skepticism within them, there's no fear within them. And the more you CE5 together with a group, the more you will have results. And I know from my experiences at the farm and my experiences of daytime sightings that it really doesn't matter day or night. Other things matter. And I think that the two most important things that really matter for success are, one is your consciousness. The more you do the psi stuff, the more you do your esoteric stuff, the more you're thinking about your consciousness as a universal consciousness, as the oneness of the universe, the more you practice things like the Russell Targ ESP trainer. We know that there is some, right now, unknown connection between consciousness and these UFO events. And from tons and tons of government cases, from the ATIP and OSAP government programs, that time and time again there's a consciousness interaction. So much that, in fact, the craft will know where the next waypoint for jet fighters is going to be, and many other things like that. There's a consciousness reading. And I make the supposition that the reason why we have had so many sightings is because we practice so much of this esoteric stuff, that we work on ESP so much, that for some reason that is tapping into this field. And it's a field that, if it real, we know it is, a more advanced civilization would be utilizing it and would be observing it in a much more intense, accurate, long-distance kind of manner. And we know that the human brain emits hertz, real detectable energy levels of hertz, from alpha to gamma. And these hertz can run from 2 hertz all the way up to 160. which is extreme gamma. So they go from this ultra low to this ultra high. So if you want success, I would say please encourage all of your members to work on these things, these esoteric thoughts, these ESP things. Work on your consciousness, work on meditation, and that in and of itself will increase your connectivity. It's like tapping on the surface of a still lake, and the ripples can go all the way across to the other side. And it sounds wild, and it sounds, very new agey, but it's the facts. And the top scientists are researching this stuff, and I have been with different groups. So it's pretty freaking amazing. And I'm still amazed and honored and flattered and just stunned every time I get involved with any of this stuff. The successes are just stunning. And you just can't understand until you witness it yourself, until you experience it yourself. I can admit that I was reached out to recently about the COVID virus by a government agency to see what I thought would be happening in the future about it. And just so you guys know, don't stress, don't freak out. This is going to run its cycle. It's going to have very low death rate. It's going to have a low sickness rate in general to what a real pandemic could be. I really encourage you to be healthy and take care of yourself and eat well and drink well and have plenty of extra stuff around the house, especially things like chicken soup, which is the Jewish penicillin. And I can also say that I had done some work for a military agency, and they have concerns about the craft stuff all the way to the COVID-19. So it's amazing, and I'm just so blessed and honored to be part of all this stuff. Lately, it's been very difficult. I've had a lot of adversity, especially going through, really terrible finances. But at the same time as doing the poor finances, it's increased my connectivity to all of this stuff and my accuracy to all of this stuff. And I'm just so honored and flattered. And I just want to thank those who have helped so much. And I love you guys, and I still could really use your help. So feel free to PayPal or any of that stuff, and I could accommodate other means and methods as well. So the last thing for CE5 contact, whether day or night, is mantras. And it's very well known that different groups around the world, like Rama, which is the most successful CE5 group, depends heavily on mantras. And mantras are just it's like a vocal harmonic that you feel in your chest. If you hit certain types of notes in your own body, you'll feel this big resonance within your whole body. And if you do it with a group, you begin the mantra, and then you let someone will next come in right after you. So it continues. It keeps flowing. The mantra keeps going. And Rama will have theirs going for 30 minutes, 45 minutes solid, and without interruption. And when you're doing it, you're thinking of all the classic CE5 things, like sending out waves of connectivity and asking for peaceful contact and bringing that wave back, letting them see exactly where you are. So it would be a pleasure to help you guys with anything, from the ESP esoteric stuff to CE5 contact. And also we have had lately especially really amazing and humbling and just really wonderful healing testimonials. And those of you who have experienced that with us, feel free to write down below so others know. I'm not really at liberty to talk about other people's medical cases and stuff. We take this as a very sacred space that people let us into. So we're just so honored to be, God's hands. We believe God does all the magic here. We're just the hands at times. And even Miss Sausages, here she is. She was paralyzed for 2 days, and I went to the emergency vet and twice, and I didn't sleep for 2 nights just holding her in my arms, and it was really, really stressful. But people like Super Sleuth and others have really sent their prayers, and she's doing amazing. She's wagging her tail. She's asleep right now. But I love you guys. And that's the single most important thing about all of this, is love. And especially at times like this, where this pandemic is scaring people around the world, times are not going to get easier. They may get tougher. And the one thing that can make us all feel good and healthier and safer is love. And I love you guys very much. And this whole experience has been really a real peak life experience for me. And I just want to do a good job. I want to do as best of a job as I can for you guys and for the future and for the research. And I love you.